Great morning, holy brothers and sisters. On this thriving Thursday of May 10th, the 25th of Iyar, it is the 40th day of the Omer for those counting, and in the Kitzur Likutei Moharan, today's lesson will be called Sincere Sighing. This is teaching number 109, Anacha de Kedusha, Holy Sighing. Holy sigh is something very precious indeed. This is because when a person sighs over the fact that he is far from holiness, he thereby severs himself from the rope of impurity, from which his soul has been drawing its vitality, and he is connected with the rope of holiness. Conversely, when a person sighs over some physical desire or lust that he longs to satisfy, he thereby moves from the rope of holiness in the opposite direction, God forbid. We know that one is led in the path that he wishes to follow. Whether we can or cannot do it right now, we should at least desire more holiness. The sighing that a person sighs over his sins or over his insignificant spiritual achievements is more beneficial than many acts of mortification and fasts. Teaching number 110. The Torah is a spiritual entity, and spiritual things do not occupy space. We know that the ark inside the Holy of Holies was actually bigger than the space that it had to fit within. If you measured it and measured the poles and the actual box, and then you measured the room itself, there was no way it could physically fit into the space, but every single moment it did. We also know that every person that comes to the temple, that we will all be able to fit inside the walls, and even though there's going to be so many more people that actually the space can occupy, it will still work, because there's no limitations when it comes to spiritual matters. And when we take something physical and elevate it spiritually, we can break free from everything, and there are no bounds into which we must be forced to fit. Therefore, a person whose actions are pure and virtuous, and whose intellect is spiritual, is able to grasp the entire Torah without forgetting anything. However, a person who imparts corporeality to the words of the Torah, who makes them into something physical and thereby comes to forget the Torah that he learned, God forbid. Teaching number 111. The initials of the words, the head of the children of Israel, Rosh B'nai Israel, from Exodus 30:12, form the acrostic of Rebbe, which is Resh, Beis, and Yud, my teacher. Conversely, the initial letters of the words, the wicked will be obliterated in darkness, Rasha'im B'choshech Yidamu, also form the acrostic Rebbe, Resh, Beis, and Yud. Teaching number 112, the main practical teaching that emerges from this lesson concerns the great exaltedness of the words that are spoken with sincerity and truth during prayer, and that through this, God himself radiates his light for a person so that he can see the openings in the impurity that surrounds him, and thereby go out from darkness to great light. It is further explained that a person of intelligence and understanding should pray all his days that he merits once in his life to utter one word of truth before God as is fitting. It is also stated here that with the advice presented in this teaching, a person can be a truly righteous Jew all his life. This is because no matter what, a person can rejuvenate himself and fortify himself with the truth, since truth is the light of God himself, and even all the darkness cannot block him out. From Psalms 139:12. For there is no impurity or evil force in the world that does not contain openings through which a person can leave them. There is always hope that we must have. It is just sometimes that the person does not see these openings due to the great darkness that prevails there. But through the truth, God himself radiates light for a person, and even in the depths of his fall, the person merits to see and to find an opening of hope by which to go out from the darkness to light and to truly draw close to God at all times. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter where we are, no matter where we've been, no matter what we're stuck in now, or no matter what we think holds for the future. We can always know that there's a light there, and we can find God everywhere. As always, thank you so much for learning together. If you enjoyed this lesson, please remember to like, comment, share, and borrow. And please God, we'll learn again tomorrow.